Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming, a more Banished Colonial Charter version 1.71 journey in New Cardiff. In what is turning out to be a pretty difficult seed, actually. Kind of tucked in between some mountains, and there's a massive freaking lake over here, which will be very nice for food generation, not so much for wood and stuff like that, but I don't know, we're gonna find a way to make it work. We already had somebody die in our colony, unfortunately, Millum the Gatherer, the 11-year-old, who was unable to find any food because everyone grabbed what they could and then hid it in their houses and wouldn't share it with him, and they let a child die. I know, it's horrible. But hey, that's how things go in a new colony, right? It's a dog-eat-dog world or something. I don't know. Anyway. Alright, so I took the liberty of doing a little bit of planning as far as how I'm kind of expecting some of this city to start looking. Well, I say city, it's going to be a bit more of a village, but kind of want to just, get a good sense of where things are going to go and stuff like that, where I'm going to be placing some woodcutters and taverns and houses and stuff like that. It's not done yet, but I want to have a lot of things within this range of the marketplace, and I figure in between videos it doesn't do any harm to try and plan things out a little bit more effectively, yeah? Yeah, I would say so. Anyway, let's go ahead and unpause and continue moving on with the game. So, we're having a little bit of trouble as far as food is concerned still. Trying to gather a little bit more. Let's go ahead and tell our laborers to do a bit more here. Some stuff down here. There's a bit of wild food over Meow. Grab that. How about up here? There we go. Yeah, it's going to have to kind of do for the time being. I mean, we do have some hunters. We do have some gatherers trying to gather up more food, but it's going to be a little while before we feel comfortable in this. We are in late autumn going into winter. And pretty soon, well, there's not going to be a whole lot of food hanging around. Now is there? Now, the sooner I can get a lot more people working as laborers and stuff, the better. I need people hauling, I need people building, I need people gathering up resources, kind of stuff like that. And the other thing that we really do need to be concerned about is whether or not we are going to have a tailor and a blacksmith anytime soon, because we're already running kind of low on tools. In fact, I'm actually going to go ahead and make the executive decision that we want to get a blacksmith right about now. So let's go to Refined Resources, go to Smithing, Tools, Metalworking, and Smelting. And we'll have to grab a regular blacksmith right now. We can't afford a city blacksmith. We don't have the resources for that. There are some iron smelters and stuff like that, foundries, blah, blah, blah. For now, let's just worry about getting ourselves a blacksmith. And we're going to tuck it in right about Meow, I think. Trying to kind of fit a basic grid pattern if I'm able to. But yeah, the blacksmith is going to be important. If we don't have any tools, then people are going to be very ineffective in their jobs, and they probably will die or something. You ever tried punching trees like in Minecraft and stuff? It's not a good idea, and I don't want the people of Banished having to do that either. Same with the rocks and the iron and whatever the heck else. So yeah, let's get some tools. Now, one really big change between the base game of Banished and Colonial Charter is iron, and that's actually going to be really important when we get this blacksmith going. So in the base game, you see these little iron rocks right here. People would walk over, they'd, hit it with their pickaxe a few times, and it would kind of look a little bit like this stone. It'd be a nice kind of square bricks of iron, right? Little iron bars, already smelted and ready to go. Not in Colonial Charter. In Colonial Charter, you're going to break this stuff up and you get these kind of little rocks here. Iron ore. You're going to have to smelt it if you want to turn it into proper iron bars that are more easy to work with. Now, we don't need that yet. It would be a very good thing to have, but it's not an absolute necessity. Because the blacksmith can make rough tools that use a log and iron ore in order to have basic tools. They're not very good tools, but they will do the job. So, yeah, that's what we're going to have to use. I mean, the process of getting enough fuel, some coal, charcoal, whatever the heck else, refining it into fuel, and then using a iron smelter to turn it into iron and stuff. It takes a lot of people, it takes a lot of efforts, it takes a lot of resources that we don't have right now. We just kind of want to establish a baseline, get some basic resources and survivability figured out, and then we will start expanding into the different features of Colonial Charter. So for now, I'm just going to have them build a basic blacksmith, and we will have to be content with rough tools. Let's go ahead and increase that priority a little bit. The other thing that we want to get, and I'll go ahead and plan this out now, but we won't have them build it until the blacksmith is done, is going to be a tailor. If we go to Fabrics and Fibers, we can build a regular tailor. Costs 45 wood and 50 stone. We don't have the materials we need for tailoring companies and stuff. That requires home furnishings and lumber. Seamstresses Guild. Weavers. Fiber Watermill. Ropery. bedding maker, tannery, lots of cool stuff. But for now, let's stick with just a basic tailor. That's all we'll need. I'm going to go ahead and pause this for now. More important thing is to get the blacksmith and the tools going, because if we run out of tools, that's not going to be good for us. I like watching the leaves just sort of spontaneously go poof on the trees. It's pretty cool, honestly. This game has always been beautiful to me, and I'm not too sure why, because it doesn't seem like it's, you know, the most graphically involved, yet it's something, there's something cool about it. Call me crazy, but I like it a lot. I really do. Reserve of food is low. We have, nope, no food left. All right, well, I guess you know what you're talking about then, huh? Let's go ahead and gather up a bit more wild food kind of in this area. We honestly should tell people to kind of clear this area out of trees and stone and everything else. If we're going to have this many buildings and stuff in the area, then I want to clear it out so I can see exactly what I'm doing, but oh well. We are currently capped out on our wood cutting, our firewood. We have a limit right now of 200, and once we've reached that, the woodcutter will stop doing his work, and he'll act as like a regular laborer for a while, so, you know, that way we don't waste too many logs creating firewood we don't need. Now, honestly, we probably don't need 200. That might be a little on the excessive side, but it's going to be okay. The important thing is not to waste a ton of materials making too many tools and stuff like that. Why is it taking so long for you guys to do a basic job like with the blacksmith here? Can we please prioritize this a little bit higher than everything else? A little bit, maybe. Mine the resources off of it so we can start building it. Yeah, see, this person doesn't have a tool anymore because we've run out. So, you guys are going to have to stop working on all these trees and stuff. I mean, I know that my builders are thinking the roads are the most important thing right now, but what the heck? What kind of road did I put down here? It's not the kind of road that I wanted. Oops. We'll fix that. Yeah, it's fine for now. Who cares? Point thing is, get this thing going. Alright. So we'll put down a blacksmith, we'll put down a tailor, and then what we'll probably want to do is actually build one house relatively close by. This is actually a really important feature of Banished, so I'm going to assume that some people don't know this, and I'm going to try to explain it a little bit. So if you want to make your towns in Banished really efficient, one of the primary ways of improving things is reducing walking time. That's one of the things that'll really kill you, is just people walking around, delivering resources, doing a job, and stuff like that, right? The closer people are to their main occupation, the better. And the way that Banished works, if I built a house like, let's say here, and I had my blacksmith and my tailor, then what's going to end up happening is the two adults who live here, the husband and the wife, will automatically assign themselves to whatever jobs are closest to them. In this case, that would be the blacksmith and the tailor. So rather than have a blacksmith and a tailor all the way up here, have to work down over here, and then these guys are hunters and have to walk all the way up here, no, it'll just reassign themselves automatically to try and be more efficient. That's why building housing next to jobs is actually kind of an important occupation. It's one of the reasons, as I am building out, let's say, a fishing dock and stuff, I'd like to have housing kind of close by, so the fishermen don't have to have a lot of downtime. They can just go straight to their job. By the way, what kind of tree is that? You know, for a second, zoomed out, I thought it looked like some sort of a freaky palm tree, but it's not. It's kind of okay. Never mind. I was about to criticize the game and be all like, hey, that's not belonging in the Appalachian forest. I would know. I live in the Appalachian area. But, they're fine. I was just being a little overly sensitive, wasn't I? Come on, please build that blacksmith. We have 6 people who don't have tools anymore, including the 2 people who are trying to build it, which is one of the reasons it's so outrageously slow. Yeah, once you run out of tools, things start getting really unpleasant pretty quick. I was kind of expecting to have this blacksmith ready a little bit sooner, but no such luck. And unfortunately, our builders are the least qualified to do the job, so... Oh well, as long as we get it built soon, we get a blacksmith going, and eventually we're going to be okay. Let's go ahead and unpause the tailor so people can start clearing this area out, because we're going to want to build a tailor and get some clothing going as well. Now, do we have any leather? That's a new question. Barn? Yeah, actually, we've got 26 leather. We can build a few more coats. Winter is going to be upon us relatively soon. It's already early autumn. So, before the snows come, I'd like to get some more coats going so that people don't freeze to death. Alright, blacksmith's finally built. So let's go ahead and assign somebody there. And this person will do tools. Nothing but tools. Rough tools, in fact. Log and iron ore. As opposed to the iron tools here, which is just log and iron, which we don't have, and we're not going to refine that stuff now. Let's just do this. It's probably fine. So, delivering stuff to the tailor next. Now, let's go ahead and also unpause this wooden house so that people will be able to do exactly what I was saying. They'll be able to live close to their occupations and make things a lot, more efficiently. I always close down the gosh dang professions tab. Every freaking time. It's just an instinct for me, I personally like to have a relatively clean environment, a clean desktop, so I've built up a habit where I'll close down my Google Chrome tabs and Word documents and whatever. As soon as I'm done with them, I'll just get rid of it. My wife is the exact opposite, and it frustrates her to no end. Right? She likes to have like 30 tabs open on Google Chrome, and I'm like, that is so horribly inefficient. What are you doing? But no, it's just like, she's just like, why do you close things down? You might need them. And then sometimes, lo and behold, I do need them, and because I just naturally close them down, I'm slowing myself down a bit. Kind of stupid. I shouldn't do it, but I do sometimes. We have 10 people without tools right now. 10 out of our 15 adults don't have tools. The sooner this blacksmith can do their job, the better. We have 3 tools now, so now our builders are going to go and get themselves something, hopefully. Yeah, okay, 3 tools are gone, but at least now we can build things a little bit faster. Reserve of tools is low. Yeah, no kidding. Whoa, look at the food coming in, though. 1,600 food now? Holy crap. All right, it's not bad. We should probably get some more trees and logs and stuff chopped down, though. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to make sure we chop down all the trees. Anything outside of the radius of this forestry lodge. Let's pin this. There you go, just so I can see the radius, at least for the time being. So actually, we don't want to get rid of any of the trees inside of this radius. We want to keep those trees, keep a forest going. So instead, let's just make sure we harvest everything over here. Yeah, this will be fine. Get more wood! Get more wood so that we can survive the winter, because we have no logs, which means very soon we will have no firewood, and then we will all freeze to death. And that would be the end of New Cardiff. Please build the tailor! Please get more tools! Well, that's 3 more tools, I guess. I mean, we're getting somewhere. In the meantime, these guys are going to have to be content just punching trees. It's fine. It's normal. Video game logic and stuff. And the tailor is done. Excellent. So now let's start making some winter coats. Tailor. It's all alphabetical. There we go. Tailor will be assigned here. We're going to make hide coats out of the leather that we have. We don't have any other resources, unfortunately. Wool coats. Survival coats is what I would do in a pinch if I were desperate, right? I'd go gather up some reeds, use the feathers from the ducks that I'm killing, and make something basic. But it's practically tribal wear. I mean, it's not going to do much for you. And of course, we don't have any cloth or linen as well, so... What's this? A clothier. Upgrade to a clothier for better clothing options. Ooh. Well, we don't have the stuff we need for that, but... In the meantime, though, the most important thing is just getting the tools going. We have what we need for that, so... Oh well. Now, let's take a look at this house here. And we have Paul and Luliette. Builder and a blacksmith. Interesting. Paul hasn't become the tailor yet. That's probably because somewhere down the line we're calculating that there's a building job nearby that's more important for him. Nope, now he's switched over to being the tailor. There we go, like I said. They will adjust themselves to whatever jobs are closest to them that we need. In this case, tailor, blacksmith. So there you go. They don't have to go very far at all. The 13-year-old and the 11-year-old blacksmith. Can you imagine the 11-year-old girl trying to be a blacksmith? My gosh, this is not what you think of when you think of blacksmith, is it? Some would call this, like, child endangerment or something horrible, child abuse. We close down our professions tab again. Gosh dang it. That's gonna whoa. That's gonna happen a lot, just, be aware. Huh. Oh, Z opens up an even bigger tab. Yeah, you know what? Okay, let's stick with this. Let's try and hit X, but I hit Z instead. It's probably fine. Okay, continue gathering up some resources. We need to get some more iron and stuff. Let's get some of the stone cleared out. Let's continue getting some wood. Looks like we're stabilizing pretty well here. We actually have a lot of food. We're starting to get enough tools. There we go. Everyone has a tool now. And we're getting a few extra coats. How are we doing as far as our leather? We seem to be out of leather. So we've used it all up in order to make just a few more coats. But it's early spring, so people aren't going to freeze to death quite yet. Yeah, we are out of leather. That's why we're getting this symbol here. No one's able to do their job. Now, I am going to change the limits, because there's no reason to make 50 coats or 50 tools when we only have 15 working adults right now, right? So rather than overproduce and waste a lot of resources, we're just going to set the limit to 20 of each. And then I want them to stop doing their job and go do something else. Yeah, alright, looking pretty darn good as far as the food is concerned. One other thing I am going to do probably at some point is build another forestry lodge down over here. Now, I know this area is not efficient, but here's the problem. Nowhere in this area is going to be efficient for a forestry lodge. It's just not. I mean, up here's an okay candidate, I guess. If we were over here... maybe over here. Up here, sure. Plenty of space over here, but... we're not, so I'm going to need to have wood production. And honestly, I'm looking at this map, and I'm thinking with the lake here, we're going to be okay as far as food is concerned. I am very concerned about logs. So we may have to get some extra forestry areas, just knowing it's not going to be as efficient as we'd like. But just kind of bite the bullet, accept it, move on with our lives, you know? I think that's the best we're going to be able to do. Alright, well, this is looking pretty good here. Now, how are we looking as far as our children? What are their ages? Because once they're getting kind of close to being 10 years old, we want to get a schoolhouse going. Because I want these people to be educated, technically. Okay, we have a 14-year-old that needs to move out. A lot of 6-year-olds, but we do have an 8-year-old. A couple of 8-year-olds. Alright, next thing we're going to go ahead and grab is a schoolhouse. Now, education is kind of on the important side. Education, basically, the more educated your workers are, the more effective they are going to be at their job. They get a natural efficiency boost, which is quite nice. So, if we go here to City Services, I keep getting this autosave, which is throwing me off. There we go. And a basic schoolhouse like so. Schoolhouse rock and all that. We'll place you, let's just say, right about here for the time being. I definitely want to build that thing. Good. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to assign a teacher, and all of our children will become students. And they won't become laborers until a little bit later, right? So they're gonna. When do they become laborers after they've been educated? Is it like 15? You don't get them for a few more years, but you get a nice efficiency bonus, which is going to serve you really well in the long term. So it's one of the reasons I want to get this thing before people turn 10 years old. Once they turn 10 years old, they're not allowed to go back to school. All right, they shall have a life of hard labor forever. That is what will happen. Yeah, I'm not talking very well, and I apologize about that. I am a little bit sick right now, but I'm trying not to let it hamper my gameplay any more than I absolutely have to. Look at this guy go to town. Paul. Oh, Paul became a builder again, didn't he? Yes, he did, but they had a child. The 14 and 13-year-old had a baby named Kanissa. Yeah, kids that young having more kids. Whew. It's a bit interesting, isn't it? All right, let's assign a teacher. All of our children shall become students and become more effective over time. But good. So the schoolhouse is done. All right, so what do we have now? We have blacksmith, we have tailor, we have schoolhouse. We have a bit of housing. Probably need to get some more housing relatively soon. We have some people about to come of age. Ty Lord, for example, is almost 10 years old. Of course, he's going to be a student, but he can still get married and have his own house. That said, I often find that students are so stupid that they don't know how to get their own food, so that sometimes doesn't work out very well for them. But yeah, how do I best make this work with a grid pattern? Because I need to get a storage barn over here somewhere. I also need to get a stockpile. Stockpiles would be helpful. You know, actually, yeah, let's go ahead and do that now. First things first, I want to demolish some of this road. I built the wrong type of road, and because I'm the kind of guy who cares more about aesthetics than efficiency, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it, and we'll replace it. In the meantime, though, dirt roads will go over here. Yeah, I care a little bit too much about aesthetic, probably. Look, it's just my thing, alright? I don't pretend to be an expert in Colonial Charter, I don't pretend to know everything about it, but by God, I like making my towns look good. That's half the fun for me. Alright, so we want to get a storage barn. Probably a big one this time, so we'll place one somewhere kind of like this. And let's place a stockpile relatively close by. Let's see. If I were to try to go by a strict grid pattern, then I would want this to kind of get closed off here. But I'm not sure I'm going to go for a strict grid pattern, to be honest. Oh, no, don't reclaim. Don't demolish the tailor, that would be bad. Remove road. There we go. Cancel removal. This is getting complicated. Hang on. Sorry. Sorry. Anyway. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to get stuck by that too much. Do we want to put a stockpile over here or save that for something else? Maybe we should put the stockpile over here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Stockpile will go... A-doop. 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 Doop. So many buttons in Colonial Charter. Oof. Alright, 6x6 area. Wait. I don't want a stockpile here that's invisible. I want to see it. So instead of doing this invisible stockpile, we'll do a regular stockpile. There we go. Just so I know where things are. Knowing me, it'd be very easy to forget, and then make an unforced error as a result, and then people on the internet would laugh at me. You'll forgive me for not being very enthused about that prospect. Alright, let's go ahead and clear out a bit more stone. Let's clear out a few more trees and stuff, you know, destroy the earth and all that, blah, blah, blah. We're outside of the radius here. Let's go ahead and clear these trees out. Something kind of like that. There you go. Still doing really well on food. And I closed down my gosh dang professions tab again. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a serious problem. Alright, let's have less gatherers. I still want to have as many hunters as possible, because that increases the amount of leather we can get, which is important because we're kind of lower on clothes. So I'll keep that number high, but I'll have less gatherers. Just one less for now. Maybe two less. Two less gatherers for now. That way, we can free up some more labor, and we're still doing so well on food. Who's worried about it, right? Yeah. Alright, storage barn is going up. We could try to make use of the fact that we have so much fish around here. We could also try to get some trading going. Now, we are attached to the main river in this lake, which is very fortuitous. Sometimes you'll have a couple of rivers in the map and stuff. It looks like all the water kind of flows along the same direction, but eventually this one river in particular will enter and exit the map. You always will have at least one on the map. And that's where your traders come from. They're going to float down the river and sell you stuff and whatever. So we'll probably want to place a trader like over here or something like that so someone can come down the river, dock up, and then leave. This area, on the other hand, can be reserved for some fishing, which wouldn't be so bad. Now, we could place the standard fishing dock kind of in this general area, right? We could do that. And that's a perfectly viable solution. As much water as in this radius as possible, you know, it's pretty good. In fact, it actually might be better to build one kind of over here. Or probably better over here. Maybe like this. Could do this. And that would probably provide a pretty reasonable amount of food for us. I like having fish. Fish is good. The alternative, however, is if you go to themed sets and docks and buildings for your water areas, home and town services, storage, industry, food, we can build a wharf, a quay. Q-U-A-Y. Why it's pronounced key, I don't know. You'd think it'd be like quay or something, but it's not. Anyway. We can build a bunch of docks that go out over the lake. In fact, you can build a whole bunch that just come straight out in the middle of the lake, have a bunch of fishing stuff in maximum efficiency, and that would be a perfectly viable option. So, for example, a dock fishery. Yeah, you just place one out here in the middle. That's going to be way more efficient, and it costs 45 wood to build something like this. Well, that's not so bad. It's really not. Do we want to go ahead and do that? Screw it. Let's go ahead and have a little fun and play with it. Alright, let's try to remember where this is, though, because it's very difficult to find things. We need to place some wooden dock pieces. Okay, so it should be right down the middle. Like this. This. And then you're right there. It's actually about perfectly lined up with where my streets are going to be. I like it! We need some steps. Okay, you're right there. Badoo! Okay, not so bad. So it's going to take a lot of wood to do something like this, but it's going to be kind of cool. We can assign some fishers and stuff in this area, get a lot of fish. Okay, what I don't like about the Colonial Charter mod is that these people are literally just walking underwater now. The graphics kind of freak out here. It's like, yeah, sure, just hold your breath and walk on down into the lake. Because that's normal. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Who cares? Alright, people are becoming students. We now have 15 laborers and 2 students. Which is good. We have some homeless people, apparently. Wait, how did that happen? Apparently, because our citizens became students, they now need a home? Well, that's fine. We actually can build something relatively close by to the schoolhouse, which is probably going to be more effective. So let's assign the rest of our laborers into builders and get that going. I'm going to go ahead and prioritize the house here, just to make sure that people have a roof over their heads. There we go. Oh, wait. These people are these people trapped? No, wait. Why are you... What? You're a hunter. Why are you stuck, and why were you building this to begin with? Wait. 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 What's going on? Hey, people. Can you leave? Where's the steps? Okay, now they can leave. Apparently. Well, how was everyone else getting onto the dock if there were no steps? Does that make sense to anyone else? Because it doesn't make any sense to me. Never seen that happen before. And apparently their tools just spontaneously broke while they were standing there on the dock. I don't know, maybe they got bored and they just like took out their pickaxes and started playing with them as if they were lightsabers or something. I don't know, but as a result, they broke some valuable tools. So shame on you people. Alright, let's gather up a bit more stone. Kind of clear out this general area. Get some iron out of here. Get it out. Get it out of here. Gotta get a little bit more out of this radius. There we go. And of course, we're going to need a heck of a lot more logs because, you know, we just built out this fishing dock, but there it is. So, if we can finish building this thing, I love how this guy just goes plummeting off the edge of the pier. He just goes, woof-oom! Yep. Colonial Charter Met Mod. There you go. This is what happens. Well, anyway. We're going to build this thing up, and we'll be able to get some fish if we need more food. Although, right now, we're doing pretty good on that front. I'm far more concerned about the basic resources, like logs, like stone, and so on. But we're going to end this video up here. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you are enjoying this series so far, and if so, I hope that you'll hit that like button and show your appreciation. Leave a comment with your suggestions and your ideas. I absolutely am not an expert on the mob pack, so if you have any tips, I'd be eager to hear them. And subscribe if you have not already. My name is Pravus, and I will see you guys next time.